How many characters are you playing in your life at this moment? Hello, I'm Natalia Gentilcore, and in this video we are going to talk about all the roles, the mask, and the characters that you believe you are. Maybe they are conditioning you at this moment. Let's have a mate in the meantime. I invite you to prepare something if you don't have something to drink, something to share this moment together. We are going to have a nice conversation. I hope insightful. Let's start. I've been thinking to do this video for a long time, but in the last 2 months I've been moving from country to a different country again and moving houses, and now I am kind of in a space where I can share this insight with you, because I will share my own experience, and maybe it will make you think about your roles, the mask, and the characters that you are thinking that you are in this moment of life, and they are not applying anymore, or they are conditioning you. So, who I am? I am. Applying to this video, I'm just I am. Anything that comes after the I am is the condition that I am putting, which is not bad. It's not bad. It's something that we need to live in this planet. But it's good to don't get attached to the idea of what it follows the I am. But for the purpose of sharing the experience and understanding, let's start with I am a person who traveled lately a lot and who decided to travel to England almost 11, 12 years ago, because I was with a partner at that time, and it was a decision to come back to England, to have a new job and a new life. And I thought, okay, yeah, let's do it, why not? And even I wasn't conscious on that time, I started to recognize lately that all the transformation of who I was kind of started there. Because I had in my mind that I was a daughter and I was a sister and a friend, and I had a culture and I have an identity living in Argentina. I'm from Argentina, living in Argentina. And when I moved to England, to London specifically, where we have here in London there are multi-diversity of cultures and religions, I thought, okay, who I am in that aspect of identity. And all start to change, because when you move to a different country, when everything is different from where you came from, you want it or not, you start to shape yourself to fit into this new community. And I did it unconsciously. I did it in a way that I wanted to fit, to be accepted in the new community, so I changed myself to be able to fit. In some point, I understand it, because it was also a part of respect of living in this new community, but at the same time, I didn't know at that time that I was losing part of myself. What happened later after that? After that, I got married, and after a few years, I got divorced. So again, another role, another character that I created in my unconsciousness, or in my consciousness, the idea of being married, again, it broke. And what happened then? It's like, now who I am. I was like, okay, another thing changed. And after that, I said, okay, let's focus in architecture, because I study architecture in Argentina. I'm an architect and I developed my whole career of architecture in London. So I continue working in architecture here in London. I decided to stay. And then, because I was lost, I started to find the way to connect with energies and self-development and a lot of new things for myself. And I thought, oh wow, I love this. I don't like architecture anymore. So I started to grow on the spirituality part, let's say. What happened? I didn't know in that moment, but I started to develop another identity. I keep working in architecture until I decided that last year, because I was until here with that, I decided to say, okay, let's give a chance to do what I really enjoy, which is energies and working with energy alignments and workshops and all of that. Let's give it a chance. So I stopped working in architecture and I decided to take a break and go back to Argentina. To develop that part of the business, let's say. When I did that break, that decision of saying I stopped working in architecture and I went to Argentina. In Argentina, I realized that I created another mask. I created another character, an idea, or I was an architect. And what happened now that I am not an architect anymore? Who I am? What the people is going to say? And this is not a profession anymore. And it's not a career. It's like, wow. And I thought, wow, Natalia, wow. Like, really? Look what all the things that you have in your mind unconsciously, and you just started to say it because you left. You allow yourself to put a stop and say, no anymore. And made me think, wow, this is interesting. That I was believing that being an architect made me something. Bomb. And because I stopped it, again, I wasn't that person anymore. And in that moment, I told myself, Natalia, be careful. Be conscious that what you are developing now, which is this role of working with energies, it doesn't go in the same way. Because it is the same. It is another role. It's another exchange of energy. Do you get the point? In that moment it was called, let's say, architect. Now it's called Reiki master, let's say. Let's just put the name. In the future maybe it's something else. There are roles that it could change. But what it doesn't have to change if your center is your essence. And that is what the message I'm trying to tell you. How many masks and roles and characters did you build for yourself that makes you forget who you are? You are not all of those roles. Are necessary? Yes. You may be, in my case, I am a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm a friend, I was an architect, I could stay here, I'm an architect, I'm an energy healer, I'm many, many, many things. But the important part is not attach and believing that I am just that. Because when that stops, in your life, what happened? It's like, who I am now. It's because you forgot your essence. You are not anything of that. You are much more than that. So this is the video for that, to make you question yourself. Where I am attaching myself at this moment, that it doesn't allow me to be just who I want to be. And maybe today I want to be this. Maybe tomorrow I want to experiment this. And that's okay. It's not a problem. Because you can be anything at the same time. And also, now that I bring the spiritual part into it and the energetic part of it, I want to bring in the conversation something that, if you call yourself a spiritual person, you will know what I'm talking about. Okay? Because there are a lot of people at the moment that are starting to awake, let's say, or to remember part of themselves that are in a different level of frequency, of level of consciousness, which is okay, it's amazing if you can do that. But what happened? It's not good if you again identify with that and you forgot again to be who you are at this moment, which is just be. Let's put an example. There are a lot of people at the moment saying, oh, because I remember I was a priestess of Egypt in blah, blah, blah. And now they believe that they are the priestess of Egypt here, which is not bad. It's amazing. I have that too. And we all love it. But don't forget that is another role. Or let's say, oh, because I am a Syrian person in another planet and I had that connection. Cool. That's great. But again, don't disassociate yourself just because of that memory. Use that memory, connect with that. But remember that this moment you are in the planet Earth. And if you are here, it's for you to bring all of that information of who you are and share it with everyone, but from a place of coherence with who you are at this moment in this planet. I'll give you an example. I connect with all of those frequencies every time I open a workshop or a session of healing for other people. Why? Because those frequencies are the ones that are healing the person. Okay? But when I close the session, done. I go back to be Natalia, who needs to go to the supermarket, who are a friend of, and had to have a conversation with a friend, or with the conversation with my mom, or with my sister, and that's it. I go back to be myself, because I go back to also to remember that I need to wash the dishes. Understand the point. If you are in this planet, it's not to live all the time in another part. It's just to remember that for some reason you are here. It's to bring all of that into here, to share it in the right moment. You get the point, I hope. It's not bad to connect with all of that. It's amazing, and I'm sure you love it too. But don't forget that we can be those multidimensional people having a lot of character or role at the same time, but don't attach to anyone because you are forgetting your essence. who is just I am. That's it. What it comes after, it's just a role, it's just a character, and that's okay. It's something that we need to use to play, to live, and that's fine. Well, I hope this inspires you. At least make you question. That's the only thing I would like you to do. Question yourself in a way that started to become more aware of your life and started to be more present. Because what is important, it depends for each person, but for me at this moment, is to share your presence with anyone that you have in front of you from a place of love, from a place of centerance, of coherence, from a place of peace, calmness. So the person who is in front of you can receive it. Ask yourself, what is more important for me at this moment? More than who I believe I am. And start sharing that. Start sharing from that center. From that place of you that feels true to yourself. When we start to remove all those layers that we think we are, we just come back to the center, and what is left is love. But we forgot to connect with that. And it's not the romantic love, it's the frequency of love. And again, you don't have to be spiritual to feel that. I know a lot of people that doesn't know anything about spirituality, and they share more love than spiritual people. You just need to share the love that you are. Okay, I will do another video about that another day. For the moment, I send you a lot of love. I hope you enjoy this moment together. Thank you for watching up to the end. And we see each other soon in another video. Thank you for being there. Thank you for existing at this moment of time and sharing your love and your light. Bye-bye.